The moment Jasmine said this was the biggest mistake of my life, everything about episode 23 suddenly felt different. This wasn't just another dramatic line crafted for reality TV tension. It felt heavy, personal, and unusually raw. The argument about the $10,000 wedding, the stress of being pregnant, and the threat of being sent back to Panama landed with a seriousness that viewers weren't prepared for. It was the kind of moment that makes you stop and realize that something much bigger than on-screen drama might be unfolding behind the cameras. As Happily Ever After Season 9 Episode 23 aired, fans immediately sensed that Jasmine Panita was not behaving like herself. Her energy was off. Her reactions were guarded. Her expressions carried fear rather than anger. For a franchise built on explosive confrontations and emotional outbursts, Jasmine's restraint was striking. She wasn't yelling to dominate the scene. She looked like someone trying not to say the wrong thing, someone acutely aware that every word could carry consequences far beyond the episode. What followed was a wave of online panic. Rumors spread rapidly that Jasmine could be facing deportation within 48 hours. Hashtags trended, fans demanded answers, and yet TLC remained completely silent. No statement, no clarification, no denial. That silence only intensified the speculation because longtime viewers of the franchise recognize the pattern. When TLC goes quiet, it's usually because something legally sensitive is happening off-screen. Looking closely at episode 23, the warning signs are everywhere. Conversations that should have gone deeper were abruptly cut. Discussions around paperwork, residency, and future planning were glossed over or redirected. Jasmine repeatedly avoided eye contact when topics related to her status in the United States came up. These aren't random editing choices. Reality TV thrives on drama, so when producers deliberately avoid certain subjects, it usually means lawyers are involved. Jasmine's demeanor throughout the episode suggests someone under extreme pressure. Her anxiety doesn't feel performative. It feels procedural. There's a difference between emotional distress caused by relationship problems and stress caused by legal uncertainty. Jasmine appears to be carrying the latter. Her pauses are longer. Her words are more carefully chosen. Even her body language signals caution, as if she's constantly weighing what she's allowed to say on camera. Despite the chaos online, it's important to clarify what is and isn't confirmed. There are no publicly released court documents. There is no verified arrest warrant. There is no official deportation order stating a 48-hour deadline. However, immigration experts point out that this doesn't mean nothing is happening. U.S. immigration law includes several administrative procedures that can feel just as urgent without involving criminal charges or public filings. Requests for evidence, notices of intent to deny, and compliance deadlines can create intense time pressure. These notices often require responses within days, not weeks. When fans encounter leaked information or partial details about such procedures, they frequently misinterpret them as arrests or deportation orders. This is how panic spreads, especially when combined with a lack of official communication. What makes Jasmine's situation feel more real than typical rumors is the convergence of multiple independent indicators. One of the most noticeable is her sudden change in social media behavior. Jasmine, who is normally very active online, abruptly reduced her posting frequency after episode 23 aired. Promotional content disappeared. Engagement with fan comments slowed. At the same time, interactions with Panama-linked accounts increased. For digital journalists and media analysts, this pattern is significant. Reality TV contracts often require cast members to maintain high visibility during airing periods. When a star suddenly goes quiet, it's often due to legal advisement. Lawyers typically instruct clients to limit public statements during ongoing administrative reviews. Jasmine's digital silence aligns closely with that kind of guidance, suggesting that something serious may be under review. TLC's historical handling of similar situations adds further context. The network has dealt with legal and immigration issues with cast members before. In past cases, TLC avoided public confirmation, allowed episodes to air with minimal explanation, and quietly adjusted production and promotion strategies. This approach protects both the network and the individual while legal processes unfold. Jasmine's case appears to be following that same pattern almost exactly.
Gino's behavior in episode 23 also raises questions. Immigration law places responsibility not just on the visa holder, but also on the sponsoring spouse. Compliance, documentation updates, and accurate reporting are shared obligations. Yet Gino consistently avoided direct answers about paperwork and future planning. While there is no evidence of wrongdoing, his evasiveness mirrors the behavior of someone advised to limit discussion of an ongoing administrative issue.
It's crucial to distinguish between criminal enforcement and civil immigration procedures. Many online discussions blur this line, turning administrative notices into dramatic claims of arrest and deportation. In reality, most immigration complications begin quietly with letters, deadlines, and requests for clarification. These steps don't make headlines, but they can be life-altering if mishandled. Jasmine entered the United States legally through the K-1 visa process. Her continued status depends on strict adherence to immigration rules, timelines, and documentation requirements. Even minor errors can trigger reviews. This legal reality, combined with the visible tension on screen and the unusual production choices, creates a situation that feels not just plausible, but urgent. What makes episode 23 so unsettling is not what it shows, but what it avoids showing. The gaps in conversation, the sudden cuts, the unanswered questions. These omissions suggest that producers are deliberately shielding sensitive information. In reality television, what's left out often matters more than what's included. As fans dissect every frame, every pause, and every post, the story takes on a life of its own. Social media speculation has turned Jasmine's situation into a real-time mystery. Some viewers argue that the panic is exaggerated, fueled by misunderstanding of immigration procedures. Others believe the consistency of the warning signs makes this one of the most credible behind-the-scenes crises the franchise has ever faced. What remains clear is that the emotional toll is real, regardless of the legal outcome. Administrative uncertainty can be devastating, especially when combined with pregnancy, public scrutiny, and relationship strain. Jasmine's fear feels genuine because it likely is. Even without a confirmed deportation order, the possibility alone is enough to upend someone's life. As episode 23 settles into franchise history, it may not be remembered for its arguments or confrontations, but for the tension that hovered beneath every scene. A tension rooted not in scripted drama, but in the weight of real-world consequences unfolding just out of view. And as TLC continues to stay silent, fans are left watching closely, knowing that the next episode, the next post, or the next official statement could finally reveal what's really happening behind the cameras. This story isn't over, and the quiet surrounding it may be the loudest sign of all. Even as the speculation spirals online, it's essential to understand that behind the cameras, a lot of careful legal maneuvering is likely happening. Episode 23 subtly hints at a world of procedural tension. Jasmine's clipped responses, Gino's evasiveness, and the selective editing all point toward a controlled narrative, one designed to comply with legal advisement while maintaining the dramatic appeal of reality TV. It's a delicate balance, protecting a cast member's privacy while keeping viewers engaged, and TLC has mastered this approach over years of handling sensitive situations with previous cast members. Legal experts note that even though there's no confirmed deportation order, Jasmine's immigration status could be under heightened administrative scrutiny. It's possible she's received requests for evidence, or RFEs, and notices of intent to deny, or NOIDs, from USCIS. These notices require rapid responses, often within days, which can create an intense sense of urgency. Add the public exposure of reality TV, and it's easy to see why Jasmine's anxiety is palpable. Compliance deadlines, paperwork, and public attention collide, creating pressure that feels almost cinematic, but it's real.